In episode 1, I told you about the most beautiful and painful love I've ever experienced. What I didn't tell you was how that beautiful relationship ended, the brutal, devastating way they choose to walk away. Have you ever had someone you love just vanish, completely vanish like they never existed? Today I'm going to share something that almost destroyed me and why I'm grateful it happened. But first, let me ask you something important. Do you know the difference between rejection and ghosting? Rejection is when someone says, I don't want this anymore, goodbye. It hurts, but you know where you stand. Ghosting is different. Ghosting is when someone cuts you out of their life completely. No explanation, no conversation, no goodbye. Imagine reading your favorite book and someone rips out the last 10 pages. You never know how it ends. You never understand why things happened. That's ghosting, and it does something terrible to your mind. When someone rejects you, they're setting a boundary. When someone ghosts you, they're playing with your emotions. But here's what I learned about why people do it. Remember the love story from episode 1, the man who taught me what real love felt like? We had something beautiful, at least from my perspective. Great compatibility, easiness, and flow in the relationship, which I never experienced before. We were planning our future together, meeting each other's families, planning the whole 9 yards, marriage and children. It was wonderful. Then we had our first bad week. Not a disaster, just normal couple problems, things that happen when two people are building something real together. Emotions ran high, misunderstandings and lack of clear communication happened. Of course, when emotions are high, it's very difficult, almost impossible to communicate effectively. After getting some distance from the problem, I thought we'd talk it through, work on it, grow stronger. Instead, he disappeared. Not just stopped calling, disappeared. Within 2 weeks, I was blocked on everything, every way to reach him gone. But he didn't stop there. He left the country. After a while, he changed his residence. It was like he was running from a crime scene, but the only crime was that we had an argument. At first, I thought something terrible happened to him. Maybe he was unwell in some way. Maybe something was happening to him that he had to protect me. I don't know. I made so many scenarios in my head because I couldn't comprehend how the wonderful, caring man I knew could do such a thing. But slowly, the truth hit me. This was intentional. This was his choice. This was a calculated move to inflict maximum pain and cause damage to break me. This made me realize something that changed everything about how I see people. Let me tell you what ghosting does to your brain. Scientists have found that when someone ghosts you, your brain experiences like physical pain. The same parts of your brain light up as when you get hurt in your body. But it's worse than physical pain because your mind can't understand what happened. You become like a detective trying to solve a case with no clues. You replay every conversation, every moment, every text message. What did I do wrong? What did I miss? Was any of it real? You start rewriting your own story, making yourself the villain when you're actually the victim. The worst part, you blame yourself for someone else's cruelty. And that's exactly what they want. Here's the truth about ghosting that no one talks about. It's not about avoiding difficult conversations. It's about power. When someone ghosts you, they're saying, I have complete control here. You have none. They know that silence hurts more than anger. They know that leaving you with no answers will drive you crazy. Some people use ghosting to punish you, to teach you a lesson, to win a game you didn't even know you were playing. That's exactly what happened to me. My intuition told me he ghosted me to show me who had the power, to teach me a lesson, to prove me he didn't need me, to win something I never wanted to fight about. But here's what he didn't realize: he was teaching me. I wasn't perfect in that relationship. I made mistakes, I said things I regretted, I acted emotional when I should have stayed calm. But none of my mistakes were cruel, none were meant to hurt him. Yet he chose the most hurtful way possible to end things. Unless someone breaks your boundaries over and over, unless they're abusive, unless you need a restraining order, there's no excuse for ghosting. Everyone deserves a conversation. Everyone deserves basic human respect. Ghosting is emotional abuse, and I was being abused by someone I loved, but I didn't understand that yet. For months, I tortured myself with questions. Was I that terrible? Did I deserve this? How could someone who said they loved me treat me like I never mattered? I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't understand how someone could just erase another human being. I was drowning in confusion and pain until something shifted. One day I realized something powerful. His ghosting wasn't about me, it was about him. Someone who truly loves you doesn't disappear when things get hard. They fight for their relationship. Someone who respects you doesn't leave you hanging with no answers. They have difficult conversations. Someone with emotional maturity doesn't run away to another country because you had an argument. His ghosting showed me exactly who he was, and I realized I dodged a bullet, because what kind of life would I have with someone who solves problems by disappearing? Getting ghosted by the person I loved most is something I never expected. It cured my deepest fear. All my life I carried this hidden fear of abandonment, the fear that people would leave me. This fear controlled me in ways I didn't even realize. Whenever I sensed someone pulling away, even when they weren't, I would panic and leave first. Better to abandon than be abandoned, right? This fear made me choose safe people over the ones I truly wanted. I'd pick predictable over passionate, secure over exciting. My subconscious was always asking, will they stay? Instead of, do I even want them to? But when my worst nightmare actually happened, when this person that I deeply loved erased me from their world, something shifted. I didn't just survive it, I discovered I was unbreakable. The experience taught me something profound. If someone chooses to leave, let them. Their departure reveals their character, not my worth. Anyone who can walk away without an explanation was never worth keeping anyway. His ghosting gave me the most precious gift, the complete freedom to choose love without fear. Now I can pick the person I truly want, not the ones who feel safest. If they stay, wonderful. If they leave, I'll be okay. Because I've been through abandonment and came out stronger. Yes, there will be pain when we lose someone, that's natural. We grieve the part of ourselves that only existed with them. But time heals and we discover we're whole again on our own. Fear no longer chooses my partners. I do. So, if you've been ghosted, you're probably desperate for answers they'll never give you. Stop waiting for their closure. Create your own. Here's what I learned. I'm a reasonable person. I can handle a difficult conversation. I can accept when someone doesn't want me, but I will never accept being treated like I don't matter. The fact that he couldn't handle a simple conversation says everything about his emotional maturity, not about my worth. To everyone who's been ghosted, it's not about you, it's about them. To those who ghost others, you're not protecting yourself, you're revealing your character. And to my ghoster, if you're watching, thank you. You showed me my own strength. You taught me what real love isn't. You set me free to find someone who chooses courage over cowardice. If this story touched you, share it. Someone needs to hear that ghosting isn't their fault. Comment below, have you been ghosted? How did you find your strength? Next episode, I'll show you exactly how I got my closure through understanding people on a deeper level. I'll teach you how to spot emotional immaturity before it breaks your heart. Your pain has purpose. Your story isn't over.